Yo, what's up? How y'all doing today? What's up, Town Eon? Just cool. Just cooling. Let a couple people get in here, man. I ain't see what was up. Anything happened with that thug Joan today? What's up? What's up? Where y'all from? Who in here? I can't see who it is. What it do? Say something when you come in here, man. Where y'all from? Salute. What's up, Ice Bag? Chicago in here. What's up with Lil Durk situation, Chicago? What you think about that? I came on here to talk about T.I. though. I was having a conversation with one of my buddies. What's going on? What they talking about? North Carolina here. That's where my family from. Shout out to NC. Somebody said I'm praying for him. Yeah, I put a prayer in for him too, man. We don't know how this gonna go yet. Peace, beloved. Nothing yet on the YSL trial. Yeah, I saw that. I thought I missed something. I had to run around for a few seconds. Do you respect Big Meech? The whole world is loving him right now. That Big Meech situation touchy, man. I mean, it's questionable. Him and the government, the DEA informant. Like, I can't respect you dealing with that. Nah, I can't respect that. Okay, we got DC in here. What's up, DC or nothing? Salute Native. What it do? Philly in here. What's up to my 066 man? Shout out to Philly. He said, I hope he come home under that case, but it's not looking good. But remember this, y'all. This what dudes don't understand. It never looked good in the beginning. In the beginning, the allegations are there. You got to comb through it. A lot of stuff gonna change real fast on that case right there, though. You say Ti threw a paperwork pot. He got his documents. What does documents say? For real, like, I think y'all letting Ti use his vocabulary and over explain the matter. There's only two sides in a courtroom. You know that, right? There's the defense side and there's the prosecution side, and the judge is a referee. Yo, I'm doing something. Stop. Shut up. You know that, right? So whoever you come in the courtroom for is whose side you on. See, I came in the courtroom for the government, for the state. We know that, right? Like I'm having a side conversation with a buddy of mine. He's saying, "Yo, Ti got on the stand, but he didn't tell, bro. You can't get on the stand for the witness. I mean, you can't get on the witness stand for the government and say you didn't tell. You came to court for the government. You know that, right?" Capitol Heights in here, bruh. Ti got on the witness stand for the state of Ohio. I got to explain that further in a murder trial. Wale Salam, what's up, Shake? Yeah. I mean, is there a question? Yeah, I mean, it's only two sides. What side you on? You talking about them guns he got both for? No, I'm talking about the murder in Cincinnati when the dude Phil got hit. Chill out. Chill out. We don't remember that. I mean, I've been a subject of mine. So what y'all saying? I'm trying this a conversation right here. T, I only got a year and a day for machine guns and drills. Is a fact. Well, I'm not gonna say that's a fact he told, but we could go into that later. I go into that part, but that was always questionable. But remember, you could get a downward departure for cooperating in anything that results in a conviction. For the dude who say that he ain't say nothing to the on the stand in Ohio, that court proceeding resulted in a conviction. You can cooperate anywhere, and a U.S. attorney can give you a downward departure for that. But I ain't getting all the way into that part of the story. I just couldn't believe it. I looked on and seen there's even debate between him and Boosie about if somebody telling, and you talking about he got a paperwork part and he got all his documents. What about what he did in Ohio? No, I ain't disputing that with you, Adonis. I mean, I always wondered what was up with it myself. Somebody said cooperation is cooperation, if you ask me. On the bus, what about the bus? Yeah, the van or whatever you want to call it. It might have been a sprint. I don't remember now. And I gotta look that up too. Who he sent to jail? He cooperated on the dude that went to prison on the murder charge, bruh. You want me to go get his name? He testified in that case. That's a fact, right? I'm dead wrong about the Ohio case. Nah, I argued down to my last breath on the Ohio case, bro. He came in there as a witness for the state. There's only two witnesses in there. Either you're a witness for the defense or you're a witness for the government. Yeah, he corroborated the DA's theory on the stand. He explained that they was in the club in the VIP section. Something happened, some disrespect went down one way or another. I believe he even took blame and explained how he had to, tell his friend, his people's moms that it was on him. They left out the club. They got into their ride. I don't know if it was a Sprint or a van. The car chased him. They fired. Boom, 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 boom. And when they looked up, his man was dead. He don't know who was shooting out the car. The police said they got who was shooting in the car. They asked T.I. what happened. So even though if he don't say that it was Eon in the car, if he say that this happened in the club with them, we left, we got in this vehicle, they got in this vehicle right here, they followed us, they shot at us, they killed my man, and he get convicted. You telling me that that's not, bro? I'm gonna stop even debating with y'all what telling is, bro. Imagine if you was the person that was on trial. Would you think what he said was cool then? What are you like? What are we? What are the rules, bro? Y'all moving the goalposts. You keep saying, dude, brother, ratted them out. Everyone who gets on the stand, including the forensic people, is for the government, home. I don't think some of y'all understand the courtroom. Somebody says jacket longer than a doctor bill. How long will I be on there? Uh, Probably a few more minutes. Why? What's up? I was trying to catch this YSL thing. What it do though? Why you ask me that? What's up? He was forced to. He was forced. He ain't identify nobody. Bro, you don't gotta identify nobody to be a government witness, bro. You don't be a government witness without going to talk to the DA. You don't know that? Out of all the conversations we'd had tomorrow, you gonna tell me he didn't identify nobody, bro. He got on the witness stand for the government, bro. And he explained what happened in the club and he explained that the car got shot up. The rest of the case was identifying the man from other witnesses. He came there to help the government. I ain't even go, bruh. Hey, Lamar, ask anybody else, can you get on the stand for the government, bruh? You saying that T.I. ain't get on the stand for the government or what he did when he got on the stand for the government is not hot? I don't think you fully know what hot is then, bruh. You might only know what blatant hot is. You don't get on the stand and no matter like that and say that you're a street guy and that you didn't violate the code. Like he should just take the Charleston White road. He should just take the Charleston White Joan and say, oh yeah, I did that and I don't care. You can't go debate with Boosie, debate with the streets, say you got your paperwork, say that you're not a rat, but you went on the stand for the government in a murder trial, bro, and explain what the conflict and the motive of the murder was. You can't do that and still say that you are the street code. Like, go be a real estate agent, go be T.I. the comedian. You can't be T.I. from Bankhead the Trapper. And I can't believe you debating and you trying to throw this Cuffy thing like Cuffy hat. Cuffy ain't hat. And even though I feel about Blue, you ain't got no proof that Blue told on nobody neither, technically. And don't take it the wrong way, like I'm defending Blue. Me and you, we share the same opinion with whatever is down with the Pacha is. But if you gonna ask who the T.I. tell on when T.I. the name of the case, I'm gonna go get the case for you. I'm gonna do a whole video on the case for you. I'm gonna refresh our memory. Y'all done forgot all about that, bro. You can't go, bro. So if it was me on trial for that, and T.I. came in there, I'm supposed to say, "Oh, that's T.I." He ain't really saying nothing, bro. He testifying against me. I'll be back on later on the merchandise. You can always hit me on Instagram, but I'm gonna find a way to put it in the thing. But why are you holding a rapper slash entertainer to street standards? He's a citizen, bro. He don't play by them rules. I'm not holding him to those standards, Jawan. He said he had want to have a paperwork party. He bought his documents. Him and Boosie engaged in that on a street person perspective, bro. That's the only reason I tapped in. And I really don't got to justify that part. I didn't hold him to no standards. He tried to apply the standards of the streets to himself, saying that he wasn't a rat. Since he did that, I'm saying, yo, stop that, T.I. You know what you did? Go be an entertainer. Go be a comedian. Go be a real estate agent. Stop pretending and representing street culture when that's not what you uphold, bro. And then now that we know that he cooperated in Ohio, it brings the gun cases into question. How did you get caught with all? You got caught with everything under the sun, and you got a slap on the wrist. Then came home and got caught again with something and got right back out. Come on, home. You got to address that if you're going to address what you're saying to me. What you mean could have not testified for either side? What you mean by that? He testified because when the matter happened, he had to tell the police something. Whatever he told the police got to the DA, then he had to do an interview with the DA, and from that, the DA selected their witnesses, and he was one of their witnesses. He was one of the state's witnesses. That wasn't luck. He didn't just come up and say, "Hey, I want to get on the stand today. I want to tell my side of the story." No, they told him, "Bring your behind up here." Cooperation is cooperation, bro. It ain't no getting away from that. You can only get on the witness stand in two capacities, bro: defense or prosecution. I ain't make that rule. That's how it go. It's just like a world championship basketball game. The Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers, for an example. It's only two sides in the on the court. You always get a choice what side you on. Hey, homeboy, I ain't gonna respond to you no more, bro. I done had one of those cases. Matter of fact, I done had one of those cases a few times. And for you to ask me explaining what happened, ain't telling what names he give up or descriptions, bruh, I just told you, you talking about what descriptions. He identified the vehicle that followed them. First and foremost, if you want to use the word to be specific, you want to use the word description, but to explain what happened in the club and explain who happened with, and just so happened that person is the person sitting over there in the defense chair at the defense table. Come on, home. I ain't gonna do that. If I do that with you, I just want to argue or debate. The person that he explained they got into it with is sitting at the defense table while he's sitting up there on the stand. The person on trial for murder is sitting over there. That is the person they had the conflict with at the club. That is the person they alleged was in the vehicle. Come on, man. You got to stop it, man. I'm glad we having this conversation though, because it show me where do mine be at. I don't know what you mean by that. There's no such thing as a secret rat. A CI is a secret rat in some situations. You reaching, bro. Nah, you don't have no understanding. So you telling me you gonna go get on the stand for the government and that ain't telling, bro? Get out of here, bro. That mean that you talk to the feds and you think that's cool. You tripping. I just want to know how we got a year for them guns. I don't know that one. I can't. I ain't sure to that one. He not reaching. That's a fact. I ain't even responding until he say something that makes sense. I ain't responding to that part of the conversation with me and bro no more. And me and him cool. Tazo TV. He just a Ti fan, I guess. Or he don't fully understand the code, bro. You don't go and participate in none of that and say that you are street. I'm not even promoting it or condemning it. I'm just saying it don't fit. You dig what I'm saying? Like you don't go for a football combine and everybody out there running sprints, lifting weights, jumping up, doing the thing in the air, and you shooting jumpers. That's for basketball. I don't think you understand what we talking about, bro. And if you want to take it, like they always say, I take it to prison. See, I couldn't go to prison with that. Stop. Chill out. Chill out, time. I told you I'm doing something. What you mean you can't call him hot? He on the man. All right, whatever, bro. I don't care what you talking about. That's your opinion now. You can't call him hot. He got on the stand for the government. Bruh, do you understand what talking about a homicide means? Do you understand what talking about a homicide to a police officer means? Do you understand what talking about a homicide in a homicide trial means? Do you understand what that means, bruh? Do you comprehend what you saying? Think about what you saying. When a dude get his transcripts back and he's sitting in the cell and he going away and he got 20 years, 30 years for murder, and he looking at his appeal and he trying to figure out what's up. The government witness name come up. You telling me you gonna read Clifford Hearn's name right there? Ti said that we was in the club, we did this, and you saying that you didn't do it? You tripping? I ain't sure when I'm gonna do it. Now that I see so many people don't understand, bro, that blows me away, bro. What you mean? Ti did a third party? Ti did a first party. He did a first person. Pull it up and play it for what? I'm asking you, who did he testify for, bro? I already know what y'all trying to say. You trying to say something totally different, bro. You don't understand what ratting is. Let me ask you again. I'm talking to you, Lamar Green. Who did he testify for? Answer that in one word. The government or the defense? Who did T.I. testify for? Everybody in here. Who do you think he testified for? What you mean? You seen the dude in the face, the paperwork said he was legit and he was hat. What you mean? Hat on something else? I mean, because PSI only is a record or a reflection of what you come to jail for. You could do something different after that. Can you look up somebody for me? I mean, maybe. Okay, so just like rats is despised, booty bandits should be despised too, whether it's out of towners or homegrown, they should be put in what? Bruh, I'm not running around chasing nobody for their sexual preference, to be honest with you. So like, like y'all think it's supposed to be some booty bandit police or booty bandit hunters or something? Like that ain't my job. Can you look up Ron Richardson, Cincinnati, Ohio, Hamilton County for me? I was thinking the same thing, bro. Okay, thank you, man. I'm glad I ain't the only person, man. I forgot the exact plea Tip took on the gun case. I ain't talking about that, bro. I'm talking about the homicide out of Cincinnati, Ohio. I ain't even get see. That's what dudes be throwing off. They keep trying to make him hot for all the questionable stuff with the gun case. Ray testified on the homicide, man. T.I. Daddy, help him out. Who is that? Somebody said that's police activity. It means you are cooperating. Yeah, man. They don't know. All right, cool. Are we gonna pull up the testimony or not? About to send you the video. Sure, you can send it to me, but you ain't answered the question. You done commented 3 times. Who did T.I. testify for, bro? I said, sure, you can pull up the testimony. I got it. Sure, you can say whatever you want to say. Who did T.I. testify for in the Cincinnati murder case? What side did he testify for? Who was he on the witness stand for? Did he place the defendant on the scene? Yeah, he placed the defendant in the club where they got into the conflict at. That ain't placing them on the scene. That's where the conflict occurred. That's where the conflict began. That is the source of the conflict. Sunset Shakur. Okay. Come here, stop. Come here. My show. I agree with you. I agree with you too. Let's do it. Ain't gray area with T.I. Sound like he'll do a lot of talking himself. He still won't answer the question. Everybody else has said the government, the government, the government. Lamar keep just talking about, bruh. Now you a hot dog bun. Everybody is telling you he testified for the government and you still defending him. So I don't want to hear that. Me personally, I'm not getting on the stand, so I don't agree with it. All right, that's cool. And I respect that you saying that you don't agree with it. I'm gonna ask you one more time. Who did T.I. testify for, bruh? Everybody in here. Oh, he said I said the state law. You know I ain't beefing with you. We here, but we don't agree on this right here, bruh. That ain't cool. You can't do that, huh? You cannot do that. And they can't make you do it. Like everybody told me, oh, they was gonna violate his parole. That's a part of being a stand-up dude. You don't do what they tell you to do. You don't let them make you do nothing. You don't do that. He helped convict Hosea Thomas of murder. Somebody just got his name for me. I forgot his first name. Y'all better listen to E. He laid down and understand the system. I'm telling you, there go government again. He was a state witness. There you go again. Even the female said the government. My man said the state finally. You can't cooperate and be a gangster. That's my only point. I'm not even belittling or attacking anybody that's not a gangster, bro. If a person is a square, then they gladly a square. But I'm saying this dude raps street culture to our youngins that's out there living it. He getting the back and forth with Boosie like he's still about it, and he not. That's the problem out here. People be representing things that they are not, and he's on a platform. That's like me representing turn your other cheek. Now I'm not a advocate of violence, but I'm not an advocate of nonviolence either. You dig what I'm saying? So imagine me advocating turn your other cheek. No, I'm an advocate stand up for yourself. You can't advocate street life. You argue back and forth with little Boosie, your paperwork right. I got my documents. Bro, you got some of your document. They ran T.I. in the joint. And don't tell me he was in the feds. He was in Wazoo somewhere, and he wasn't in the pen. Gucci Man was attorney at United States Penitentiary. He might could talk about that. I bet you Gucci Man paperwork was right when he got off the bus. You read Gucci Man book? He said that where he was at, people was getting hurt. He helped sort of conviction for the prosecution. Let me read that correctly. He helped secure the conviction for the prosecution. He was a participant. Like on a football team, there are 11 players. Just this past Sunday, the Washington Commanders played the Chicago Bears. Down in the fourth quarter, last play of the game, the quarterback of the Washington Commanders, Jaden Daniels, dropped back and threw like a 60-some yard Hail Mary. The Hail Mary hit the hands of a defender and someone else and popped in the air, and Noah Brown caught it for a Hail Mary touchdown. That's a team. That's a team effort. Everybody on the Washington Commanders team, all 11 people, from the quarterback to the offensive lineman, played a role in that. In the conviction of Hosea Thomas, the guy from Cincinnati, Ohio, who caught the case in Cincinnati, Ohio, the government, which is the team, like the Dallas Cowboys is a team with a star on their helmet, like representing Lone Star State, Sam Houston, police, U.S. Marshals. The government put on a show, and on their team was a player by the name of Clifford Harris, T.I. T.I. was on the team of the government. Do that sound better? Somebody said in Cleveland. What? I don't know about what you're talking about in Cleveland. I don't know no case that T.I. got in Cleveland. I never heard of no third-party cooperation connected to T.I. pertaining to Cleveland. What case he got out of Cleveland? The case that we talking about is out of Cincinnati. He said DC dude's different. Bruh, not far from DC though. What's good, family? North Carolina in here. You ever met any guys from my state in the feds? My uncle Arnold Murphy actually ran with the DC car, even though he's from North Carolina. Well, that's not a new thing. A lot of times in the 70s, dudes like they talk about this dude named Chappelle that he got whacked in Marion when the ABs and the DC homies got into it. But he was actually from somewhere like Connecticut. But he was a Moor or connected to the Moors at one point in time, so people gave him that beef. It was a couple dudes that was on the table from St. Louis. People just said that they was with the homies because all of those guys was Moor. Most of them, if you think about their name, if you look their cases up, you'll see you'll see some of the AB's names, and then you'll see names like Smithfield, Bailey Ill, Marshall Bay, Mathis Bay, Wood Ill. Like you gonna hear Bay or Ill, Bay or Ill. That's for a reason. That's not just because that was their names. But shout out to North Carolina, man. I met a lot of good men out of North Carolina. Rest in peace, my man Duke. Charlotte, North Carolina, cold-blooded man. I just tried to tell him about the Cincinnati thing. I ain't gonna beat a dead horse with that one though, man. Hey, can y'all hit the like button for me? Hey, good brother, when you dropping a fly video, this format here is running in circles. No, this just live right here. Live and my videos, two different things. You ain't figured that out yet? I come to live to talk to y'all interactively. You saying this is running in circles. This is live, bro. This ain't really the content. The content gonna come with pictures and interviews. I think I need you to understand that. You might not be interested in what we doing when we going live. When I go live just to talk to y'all, for you to be able to have an opportunity to say, hey, good brother, when you dropping a fly video, this format here is running in circles. You wouldn't even be able to say that to me in person if I just did a regular video and you had to drop it in the comments. Sure, I would see it. But let me remind you something. The channel is not about fly. Fly is one thing that we show on the channel. You watch the Discovery Channel. One day you're going to see Shark Week. One day you're going to see American Gangster. One day you're going to see something about the environment. So you're not going to see Fly every time you come over here. And more than likely, you're never going to see him live, homie. That's not how we running the show over here. I don't understand how this running in circles. Today we talking about Ti. Yesterday I was talking about the YSL trial. The day before that I was talking about Lil Durk. These were current events. I don't want to make a video about them every time and put my effort and energy into researching and digging up the pictures, doing real journalist research. Then I had to make the video. You know how many hours it take me to make one of the videos that I make on fly between 10 and 30 minutes long? It might take me 4 or 5 hours to edit that by myself. That's a female, Megan. That's how you say it. He said, "Well, I trip. What booty bandits got to do with snitching?" That's just something he wanted to divert the conversation to. Like he wanted somebody to be running around with a big old magnifying glass saying, "Who is heterosexual? Who is homosexual?" With a magnifying glass. Think about what you saying, bro. Me personally, I'm not getting on the stand, so I don't agree. I thought that was old. Me personally, the government, the government, the government. I be watching you, soldier. Maybe we all run into each other in the city. Stand up, soldier. Salute. Okay. What it do? Appreciate everything you doing. Good looking for the love you showing to the stand up guys, and you ain't run across no dudes from Birmingham, Alabama. I did run across a dude from Birmingham, Alabama. We used to call him Big Black. And then my man Tone had a partner. I ain't gonna say his name, but he had a whole lot of pull. I don't know if he was from Birmingham, Alabama, but he was from Alabama. But Alabama got some solid, solid men in the feds. But if I ain't mistaken, Jeff Ford is from Alabama and Larry Hoover from Mississippi, right? That's where they were born. Yeah, they made their bones in Illinois and Chicago, but most of them big time dudes like that, they come from the South. The South produce a different type of individual, bro. Psychologically, mentally, everything. Yeah, editing take a minute. Yeah, somebody know that. Nah, I seen a post this morning on Jay Prince Page say that ain't true. I ain't even read that story. That's the same thing I did with that YSL story. When they started putting Woody on the stand and people started making a joke of it, I started paying it attention. But as it got close to this empire, I started paying a little bit more attention to it. What you mean? What about like I don't know if you be trolling with that or if they be trolling. Like, it's no sit down me and Rayful Webber gonna ever have. That's not gonna never happen. That ain't gonna never happen. I was in Jessup when the Ohio case went down, but I do know his nephew was his manager before Phil. He was supposed to be in Ohio, but he fell out with T.I. and he did because it would have. I didn't see all of that. Okay, boom. There my man Tazo TV. I was surprised to hear you admit DC was a part of the South that was thoughtful, that was that was thorough. Hey, I got a lot of backlash for saying DC was in the South. Matter of fact, we can talk about that for a few minutes. That's a good topic. Hit the like button too. Hey, I like that topic, Tazo TV. My bro was from Lawton to the feds, just got killed 3 weeks ago. RP Twan. Hey, Twan, that's my man. Yeah, yeah, may Allah, man, protect him, may Allah, man, grant him paradise. Antoine Whitaker was in Lee County with me. We was in the same unit. That's my man. I saw that, man. Rest in peace to a good man. My condolences to the Whitaker family. But dude tried to say me. He said, "Listen, E, you're a little off with that. I got 3, 4 different perspectives. I ain't reading the comments right this minute. One perspective was, yo, E, you quoted that DC is below the Mason-Dixon line. He said, do you know that parts of New Jersey is below the Mason-Dixon line? Yes, I know that parts of New Jersey and Maryland and other parts of places are below the Mason-Dixon line. I'm not saying the Mason-Dixon line is the end-all, do-all. The Mason-Dixon line was created by a man as well. But if you think about the country in itself, especially during Civil War times, like another comment came in my inbox that made a lot of sense. It said, yeah, we're a southern city with a northern vibe. That was another person's opinion. They say, but no one really considers that because even though DC was a southern city, it was always a part of what they consider the Union. However, Maryland and DC Maryland and Virginia were the two states that land was annexed from, so to speak, to create what was known as the capital of the United States. And the reason why it's the capital of the United States is because the Pennsylvania state militia or uh, armed forces wasn't paid by Congress, and they ran them out of Philadelphia. So they said that they vowed that they would never put the U.S. Capitol in another state before, because the state could always become disgruntled. A lot of people don't know that the first capital of the United States was not in Philadelphia. The first capital of the United States was in New York State. So do your research. Google it while I'm on here. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Most of the time, I ain't welling. Washington, D.C. is the third capital of the United States, although it is a seat of government, is the capital now. It's the capital now because many other experiments did not work. You dig? So most of the land that DC sits on comes from Maryland. That's a true fact. Georgetown was a part of Montgomery County. That's a part of DC right now. It also operated with an autonomy in government at one point in time, just like DC was almost two cities. And then we could go to Old Town Alexandria, which parts of Alexandria was what was called Southwest. So, like, I know my DC history, bro. Now, DC for sure was ran by a bunch of politicians. Most of them coming from southern states, some from northern states, but most of them coming from southern states. And the people that they asked to shape and form the District of Columbia, from Pierre Lafont to Benjamin Banneker, they designed the city in the way that they had to design a city, which is in straight lines now. But the original design, if you go Google it, was supposed to have winding roads, like places like Arlington County, Montgomery County, Prince George's County. Just so happened, being as though Pierre Lafont got to plan with the design of the city, Benjamin Banneker had to do some things because he was a genius and he was a man of color. Shout out to Benjamin Banneker. Redid it and showed the people that, someone else could construct this stuff here. But everything that was here, from the politicians that was here to the enslaved people that they bought from their plantations, a whole bunch of northern people didn't bring their domestic workers, what we call slaves. I don't call them slaves, I'm gonna call them enslaved people. The people from the South was worried about that. The people from the South was worried about losing their property. So many things that have happened here in Washington, D.C. was based on that, bro. So that's why I said we're a southern state with a mid-Atlantic swag, but we do our own thing, although some people say that. And then you got an opinion to pick what you want. I said D.C. is the top of the South just in a way to sound slick, but I attribute many things to myself from the South. Most of our family members, if you're a third generation, fourth, fifth generation Washingtonian, it's some point in time where it wasn't Washington, so your family had to come from somewhere. Most black people family came from where? The South. Man, shout out to the South. No disrespect to my people up top, but we do our own thing. They probably created the Mid-Atlantic region just for us, bro. Let me catch a couple of these little comments real quick. He said, I was surprised to hear you admit that DC was a part of the South. That was thorough. Salute. My bro was from the Lord, and I got that DC on that always been. Don't let these hillbillies get you out of character. It is what it is. Why not? A Rayful interview will help you. Bruh, for the person that said the Rayful interview will help me, the Rayful interview will hurt me, bruh. It will hurt my brand, my character, and it'll hurt the culture. What I'm going to ask him? What can me and Rayful sit down and talk about, bruh? Rayful could go to Vlad. He could go to Barbara's son. He not coming nowhere near me. Why not? Somebody said, I just drove out here to see my uncle in Enos, Kentucky. He done knocked out 17 years, got 7 more. Yeah, if you in Enos, Kentucky, and you drove out there, that's about if you came, where you drove out there from DC to John, almost a 16-hour ride or something. But that's Big Sandy. I don't know what it's looking like for Dirk right this minute. He got to be trolled. Asking about sit down. But he tripping. But Dirk's situation is too premature. It's a long way from even going to trial. I mean, now I don't want to compare Dirk's situation to Young Thug's situation because that's a state court case, right? But remember this, Young Thug case so crazy, it took them 10 months to get a jury. That's a joke. Salute to Delaware. Shout out to my Delaware people, man. What was my man name down there, man? That had the book club. I mean the book publishing joint, Street Knowledge. JoJo. Yeah, JoJo. Wilmington, Delaware, man. And that joint like hood. Chill out, leave her alone. Yeah, I appreciate that on the journal. I mean, I put that work in for the journalism tip though, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Chill out. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. Lives and video content, tapping in from Philly. Shout out to my 066 man. Broad Street Bully and all that. It is the top of the South. Well, B-more is technically the top of the South. Yeah, but I consider B-more in Washington, D.C. right there. Like, where you gonna get off the plane at? BWI, Dulles, National. That's what real DC do call it. National. They call it Reagan DCA now. That's national to me. I've been flying. I've been flying since I was a kid, 6, 7 years old. They used to put me on a plane by myself. Shout out to Cleveland. That's where I used to send me at. Spend my summers in Cleveland when I was a little boy. I'm so pressed. Look at her. You too. Come on, I'm working now. Keep doing what you're doing. It is the top of the South. Technically, gonna be more top of the South. All right, DC. DC is Northeast. I seen a Google search that said some people consider it Northeast, but DC ain't far enough up the map for me to get. Listen, I've driven to Maine. I've driven to New England. I've driven to Martha's Vineyard, where you drive to a certain place and you get on a boat, a ferry. You dig what I'm saying? So unless you've driven from, I've driven from Miami to DC. I've driven from DC to Maine. So unless you've driven northeast, bro, DC ain't gonna never feel like you northeast. It ain't enough snow in DC for it to be northeast for real. I mean, the only other term that I can agree with other than southern is mid-Atlantic, bro. Northeast, bro, like you talking about New England. If you close your eyes and think Northeast United States, bro, you should automatically think New England, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Vermont, New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey. You don't think about no DC, even if you was just to imagine parts of northern Pennsylvania. You don't think about DC when you think about Northeast, bro. North, unless you think about Northeast DC. Shout out to Benning Road, shout out to Trinidad, shout out to Benning Road, Benning Park, Langdon Park, Clay Terrace, Lincoln Heights. Unless you're talking about Northeast DC, you don't think about Northeast United States when you think DC, bro. We don't match nothing that's Northeast. Our style ain't even Northeast United States, huh? Like you talking about Bridgeport, Connecticut or something, Hartford, Connecticut. That's what you think about when you thinking Northeast style, swag, whether it be black culture or white culture. We ain't nothing like them, bro. Well, if you say you know how he told on the Fed case, you gonna school me something. I just not hip to it. Hey, bro, you keep on playing, bro. I'm not reading another Rayful Edmond. I'm not reading out loud another Rayful Edmond comment you make. I'm not playing about that, huh? You joking and playing. Like, I'm not playing about that shit right there. Yeah, I know Twan, man. What's Twan Muslim, man? I forgot his Muslim name because I always call him Twan. You sharp, young man. My apologies. You're very well rounded and thoughtful, and your knowledge of American history. Hey, bro, I appreciate that. Remember, I went to prison at 16. From 16 to 20, I was basically on lockdown. I read every book my aunt sent me. She sent me everything from Eastern culture to religious, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Black history, DC history, bro. I got a habit of reading. That's how I became a writer. Me doing YouTube blogging is just a second nature of writing. Like, I don't know how many of y'all know. Like, I used to write for Don Diva when I was in prison. Bruh, I don't agree that blacks in the streets don't transition out of it like other cultures, such as the Jewish gangster, the Italian gangster. I think that the black gangster that transitions out of the game is not one that's very vocal. And if he was very vocal, he wouldn't become successful. So when the black gangster and the generations that come under them transition out of the streets, I don't think they ever talk about or allow people like me to do journalism, to even journal about them and their past. But if you do your history and your research, or you'll find many black men, especially that came out of the South, transition out of what we would call outlawism or gangsterism, not necessarily the stuff that we entertain in some of these bigger northern, up top northern cities, right? In the street culture, because I got cousins and uncles out of North Carolina that was bootleggers. Bootleggers are similar to drug dealers, and they were bootleggers for many a decade, but they were also church going men. So as they transitioned out of bootlegging and they went into the church, they began to do other things in real estate. And now some of these people moved out of the country of Carolina to the financial districts like Charlotte and different other places in New York City. So I think that the black gangster transition, let's not forget that less than 400 years ago, many of us were enslaved. So to come from slavery, because we're not gonna forget that there were free blacks in the South and in the North. Like, they had things going on. I got a book called uh Black Millionaires of the Century. You should check it out, read it. I forgot who it's by, I'll show it to you later. But just to come from slavery through Jim Crow to Reconstruction and everything else, bro, that's like being a gangster and changing your life. You dig what I'm saying? You got people like Don King. Shout out to Ohio. You know what do you know what they talk about when they speak of the humble beginnings of Don King? I mean, I know people got their feelings about Don King and all that, but I'm saying, do you know where he comes from, bro? Do you know his humble beginnings? Check him out. Chuck Brown. Shout out to Carolina. We stole him from Carolina. Bro, you need to teach this shit somewhere. Knowledge is power. Don't nobody want to listen to me run my mouth, man. But appreciate y'all for being here. There's 90 some people here. Make sure you hit the like button when you come in. Damn, hold on. I missed a lot of comments. Hold on. You teaching them, young fella. I appreciate it. Bruh, breaking down real history. Y'all hit the fucking like button. MD fought with the North. Ho, ho, ho. Let me stop you right there. You said Maryland fought with the North. Yeah, on paper and in general, but do you know there was an assassination attempt on Lincoln as he traveled from Illinois through Baltimore to DC? Like, they had a plot to kill him in Baltimore, of all places. Baltimore was a what you call a sympathizer of the South, although that they rode with the Union. Baltimore and the state of Maryland were Southern sympathizers at the time, and there was a plot to kill Lincoln in Baltimore as he rode through on a railroad train. Look it up. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Also, Baltimore has a significant lynching history similar to the South. They are passing lynching laws now. The state of Maryland, I'm not going to get that all to Baltimore, the plot to assassinate Lincoln, for the Emancipation Proclamation and the Civil War did have a plot that came through Baltimore. But the state of Maryland has some of the largest lynching history. The lynching history in the state of Maryland is equivalent, if not above, states like Mississippi and Alabama on paper. That we know you'll go missing to get lynched in Mississippi or Alabama, nobody will know you there. The alligators might eat whatever's left of your carcass. We know that. I'm not saying that, but documented, Maryland has a terrible history of lynching. Maryland Forward the North. I'm from NYC, but my family from Mississippi. A lot of us come from the South. How many of y'all know what the Great Migration was, bro? And I ain't 50 years old yet. A lot of families from North Carolina and DC, if I'm not mistaken. Listen, some of the main families that took over Black culture in Washington, D.C. came from places like Virginia and North Carolina. Chill out. I'm doing something. It's okay. Came from Virginia and North Carolina. All right, people don't understand the pipeline. I'm from California. No, I'm from Carolina. All my aunties. Oh, YSL Jones just came on TV. They about to say something. I'm glad I'm already live. Chill out, I'm working. All my aunties and uncles migrated to DC. I'm from Carolina. Oh, listen, all my grandmama's siblings, her brothers and her sisters, migrated from North Carolina to DC. And from DC, at the one house that we stopped at, which was my grandmother's house, my whole family spread it out from that house to Baltimore, Cleveland, New York City, and one of them joined the army and ended up in California. I don't know them. I mean, I don't know them like the people I know that stayed in the East Coast, but that's a fact. If you a real Washingtonian, third generation or better, because nobody, I be hearing dudes say, "Oh man, my people's only from here, bruh." Washington D.C. came into existence in 1797, Holmes, something like that, 1797. So before 1797, most of the people that we know of color were enslaved, unless you got some descendants of yours that was in the North and they was free, or they were able to obtain their freedom by renegade status and migrated to be with the natives. But other than that, no one is really from DC. Like, there's history of Native American tribes populating from DC to the Eastern Shore. So let me not get too, bro. I could get deep. Like, I just look like this. I played Dumb and Dumb It Down. Like, bruh, if I was on my Eon time, I would never talk to Aunt Glizzy. In order for me to get down to be able to talk to the regular people, I spar with Aunt Glizzy. That's my son. Shouldn't be Bob's son. That's my son. But anyway, the people from DC at that time, most of them, if you're a true Washingtonian, your family, I'm willing to bet, like a person, like a crystal ball man, I'm willing to bet that your family at least came from Virginia or North Carolina. I bet. And if you ask your grandmamas the history, somebody in your family is from Virginia or lower. You're a real Washingtonian. People don't understand the pipeline. You got New England, the Mid-Atlantic, and the Southeast on this side of the country. I didn't say you didn't for that person. I just said you don't feel like that, bro. If you driving and you from Houston or you from Michigan and you get into the Beltway area of DC, you are not going to think that you're in Massachusetts, bro. The way we talk, the walk, the way you get in, the way we drive, how rude we are, how nice we are, you're going to know you're not in New England, bro. And New England is what I think of when I think of the great Northeast. Just like when I think of the great Northwest, bro, I think of Tacoma, Washington, Seattle, Washington. I think about Sacramento, California. Like, I think of Northwest, bro. I don't think of that DC. Who thinks of DC if somebody said Northeast? Not Northeast DC, Northeast United States. Somebody said Wayne Prairie on the way home. Nah, Eon, Big Sandy only like 7.5 hours from PG County. Oh, I'm wrong? Maybe. See, I never drove there, but I rode on the prison bus. Maybe it was the prison ride, bro. I swear we left from Memphis, Tennessee. It took us 14 hours to get to Petersburg. So I appreciate you correcting me. Yeah, I never heard of it taking that long to get a jury. Yeah, but I never been to trial in Georgia either. Ain't no telling what they was doing down there. Bruh, do you think AI Ab gonna come home? No disrespect. I don't even know what AI Ab locked up for, honestly. I know I seen something on the internet that said he got a bunch of time, but I don't even know what bruh locked up for. They about to drop something. I done had this. What time is it? It's 3:37. They done had no cameras on in the courtroom all day. So somebody probably about to plead guilty to something. I don't think Thugger taking no deal. Let me see what's up. The Mason-Dixon line isn't about North and South. If it's not about North and South, what is it about? Because technically, I can give you a story what it was supposed to be about. It was supposed to have something to do with astrology and people being able to configure their way for people who was exploring the country. And remember, the West was blockaded by what we consider like, the mountain regions and the Mississippi River. Remember, when people say they're from the Midwest, that's a term to go back to those same days too. That it was everything west of the Mississippi. That was the Midwest at the time because the West frontier had not been conquered. So please don't come over here talking astrology and geography to me when I already know that. I'm saying that we below the Mason-Dixon line, and that was the first compass or gauge to judge North and South. If you go back to the Union and the Confederacy, even if you judge North and South, of course, the Union, which was stationed in Washington, D.C., so to speak, is going to be part of the North, but we sit right on the Potomac River, bro. We sit on the Potomac River. Like I can spit from D.C. to Virginia. Somebody said it ain't enough sun to be South. Bro, I really appreciate the content. Ain't too many real ones doing it. Tell the brother Birmingham got much respect for him too. Oh, will do. And I love to hear Fly say, I crushed him. He said, come on with it. He funny. Yeah, that's Big Sandy. Yeah, I know what you saying. We was talking about the Fly. I know what you saying. Somebody said that is New England. Lamar, what you laughing at? I done said so much dumb stuff. I hope they even let me monetize the video, bro. I moved from DC to New York, and it's a big difference. Yeah, I lived in New York. Can I say I lived there? I ain't say I lived there. I stayed there for a while. I can't say I lived there. 'Cause I was coming back home every Friday. Rayful watching now. You just love you some Rayful, bro. I don't care nothing about it though. These dudes be clowns on here shaking my head. Duh, yeah, he got caught with 50 guns and he a felon. I'm done with that Ti situation, but I'm gonna do a story on him just because y'all think, man, I ain't going back and forth because I don't want my man Lamar and TiVo TV to think I'm sneak dissing and going back. We're gonna leave it alone, but I'm gonna show y'all he don't supposed to be on that witness stand for the government. I ain't gonna leave that alone. Massachusetts, what's up? Massachusetts in the building. I kind of like Boston. Shout out to Boston. I love Martha's Vineyard, even though it's a slower. Like I had to take my own tree there. That's on a slower vibe. But at nighttime, like if you not like me, when you need some like I need some urban life here and there. Like I could duck it for days, but at some point in time, I'm gonna go in the hood, I'm gonna go to a club, I'm gonna go around the way, I'm gonna go to my grandmother's house, I'm gonna go back to what I love. But up there at night, only thing you can really do to go back and really have that vibe is to go out to the clubs and all they really do is, man, I ain't gonna say they don't smoke. They was smoking, but they drink heavy up there. They be getting drunk. Block that clown, man. Oil and water don't mix, and real brothers and rats don't even. That's a hell of shit he said. Promote the books a little more on here, E, and put your link to the books in the bio. I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna tell you why I wasn't doing it at first. I wasn't doing it at first because I was focused hard on building a brand just around what I wanted to do with the channel and the DC Blacks, this and that. But good point. I'm starting like, I mean, because I need to make the money. This is solely what I do, write and content create. So you're right. My books are merch. So I got other things to sell. So for everybody that's on here right now, tell a friend, like and share the page, but go to eonwilliams.com. Go check out Lord and Legends on Amazon.com. Just type my name in, EYONE Williams. Check out my books. Like, I mean, everything that deals with content creating, whether it's writing, rapping, poetry, music, movies, I do it, bro. I honed those skills in jail cells across the country since I was 16 years old to the time I was almost 34 years old. You got me, bro. I subscribe. Great conversation. Yeah, I'm just flowing today. Like my man said, you go in the circles, we need fly. Bruh, we not gonna do fly every day. Just like we're not gonna do prison every day. Just like I'm not gonna talk about rats every day. I'm not gonna talk about Lil Durk every day. I'm gonna talk about some things on live that's just going on today. Today, I'm waiting for the developments in the YSL trial. Tomorrow, I might be talking about Earl Coleman Bay and how they took over DC jail. The next day, I might be talking about Willie Strickland, how he was accused of multiple homicides and multiple homicides in jail. And like whatever you interested in, if it fit in the niche, bro, I'm gonna cover it. One day I might wake up and feel like explaining the Fourth Amendment. Or one day I might wake up and say, bam, Nat Turner was from Virginia. You know, one of the world's biggest prison revolts was in Virginia. Do you know one of the United States biggest slave escapes was on the Potomac River out of Georgetown? Bruh, ain't no telling where my mind goes, bro. It's on a computer. I'm him. Somebody said, I'm so DC, I'm still trying to find some love, Bo. Come on now. Boston, baby. Hold on, bro. I missed some stuff. Hold on. I missed a lot of stuff. I know a lot of black men who transition out of gangsterism. I think they transition the most. I think so too. DK was number king in Ohio. DK? Wow. Chuck is from North Carolina. I never knew that. The Godfather of Go-Go. Do Go-Go still crank? Go-Go gonna always crank. It just depends on who listening to it. Marion Barry wasn't born in DC, neither. He from Tennessee. Baltimore and house. Shout out to B-More. That's one thing that's always good while incarcerated. You have to read and write. That's why our people go back at a higher rate than didn't plan ahead. That was based on Southern Maryland's agriculture. You know what? That makes sense. Southern Maryland agriculture was just like Southern agriculture. To this day, Southern Maryland agriculture is on the level of Southern agriculture, if I ain't mistaken. You know, you go down there places like Port Tobacco and down like right underneath Waldorf, the rest of them Jones that come up down there, you really in the country. You almost get back to the river again. Like it's water back there. Don King was in those streets. Yeah, that's what they say. Here he go Tracy Simmons again. Ray said, what you got against him? Jeff Foote was born in Mississippi. Yeah, I thought that was right. And keep on, I'm just shooting off the hip while I'm on live. When I was away, I worked on my case out of New Jersey. That's what's up. You better. Most of the Northeast is from NC. Most of the Northeast is from North Carolina. It might have some truth to it. Don come home hustling and numbers running. Oh, DK. That's what he meant when he said DK. Don came. My bad, Joe. The YSL trial is back on. I got it on right here. I ain't gonna miss it. I'm gonna hang out with y'all until it's done. Most DC blacks come from the Carolinas. Facts. Y'all know that, right? Most of the black culture in the DMV, not these people who just move here, these gentrifiers and these colonizers. No disrespect to them, but I'm talking about the bona fide people that's from here. I'm gonna use the DMV because Prince George's County in itself, bro, you know, is one of the most affluent black counties, not in the country, but in the world. It's one of the most condensed, compiled places of black people from low to high income. So when I'm talking about the DMV, like I didn't used to like the term DMV when I came home because I was trained to be on DC, DC, DC. But the DMV area is comprised, it has strong ties to the Carolinas, not just North, but the Carolinas. That's a fact. That's an East Coast fact. Keep in mind, one of the best basketball players in the world came out of North Carolina, although he was born in Brooklyn. Y'all know that, right? Brooklyn, New York. I agree with that assessment, but more specifically, I mean as a collective. Almost all the organizations blacks did business with as a collective has gone legit. Jews, Italians, Irish, and Hispanics. Bruh, blacks is in that category now. Don't act like blacks is not in that category, though. Like, we got black billionaires now, and I ain't talking about Jay-Z. But most of up north family comes from the South. I could go for that. Like myself, most families come from South Carolina to Washington, D.C. I don't know about South Carolina. I'm gonna say the Carolinas. All my peoples came from North Carolina. Lil Rod taking a deal. I don't hear nothing on my TV yet. You say Lil Rod taking a deal, and the other Quay is taking the deal supposedly. All right, that make good sense. They just gonna get out the way. That's smart. I mean, the brother that took the cop yesterday, the other Quay Nichols, he had a murder on his joint, bro. Like, you supposed to get out the way of them Jones. Like, they gave you that. Like, I see why he smiled when he was finished. He knew that he jumped the moon. AI ab case was something crucial. You should definitely look into it. That's a Fed case, right? AI ab case, right? It's different regions of the Northeast. True. Just like there's different regions of the South, East. Miami and Savannah aren't the same either. That's a fact. I agree with that. I don't dispute that at all. Quick question. I'm from DC, and a lot of people say, hey, to be honest with you, Rick James, like I didn't address that one time. I'm not gonna address that over and over again, bro. That's a rumor. If you ain't been there yourself and you don't understand it, don't listen to hearsay. Roxbury, Connecticut. All right. Boston. Boston, a baby, New York. Yeah, and they kind of tough up there. They like tough spirited. Damu, what's up, home? They say the DC car go hard. Bro, why you over here asking those questions? You ask them questions to Connecticut and Houston, bro. I'm gonna hit you. You ask another gay question, bro. You're going on timeout. Ask one more gay question. Lord and Legends was a 10 out of 10. I appreciate that. I've been on your book since Lord and Legends. Salute, Wallace. My Boston can't beat Boston. New York never will say New York a big Boston. Hey, I have locked up for a drug case and they used YouTube videos and music to convict him. Gave him 45. I know they gave him 45 though. He a big Sandy right now too. Yeah, they say he good up there too. Nah, it's good to just build sometimes, especially. I see what they gonna say about this case. Oh, the judge stepping up there. Judge Page. Good afternoon. So I understand we have a few pleas to be considered. Oh, they say a few pleas. And are we gonna do them at the same time? Oh, they about to do these shows separately. All right, y'all. I don't want nobody saying, E, you ain't talking about nothing. Ryan is taking, we're going to see who taking the cop. I'm still reading the comments, though. (1917). I got a book on that 1917 situation. I got a book on 1919 too. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Said I had no idea I had family in there. LeBron born in Ohio, my guy. I know that. Why you say that? What about him? Oh, you said LeBron is. I said one of the best basketball players. I'm talking about Michael Jordan. He's smiling. He know it came over. I kind of like that smile. He's smiling like a mug. I wonder what they gonna get Shawty. That's all right. History of Buried Farms is on YouTube documentary. It's amazing. I saw that. For Washington House, it was the other way around. Us from DC looked down on Maryland and Virginia. DC sent all the trends and culture. So how can Maryland and Virginia look down on us when their lingo and style come from DC? Not all of Maryland and Virginia, just the DMV parts of Maryland and Virginia. Unfamiliar with most of the DC gangsters, but who is Ronnie Red? Ronnie Red, man, he a dude from Tampa, man. Was in the feds. He was around a lot of dudes. He got some prison stories going on, man. Check his channel out. He just had some views of the homies, and I didn't think that the views was fair. He probably got something he about to drop because he gonna be responding to me because I talked a little jazzy when I was addressing it. That's what we do in DC. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to hear what his lawyer talk because they're gonna say that they don't agree to the statement of facts or the factual statements of something. Shawty knows crazy who? Who the lawyer? He said her nose crazy, bro. Go ahead, you get my YouTube channel restricted. Nah, I don't necessarily say he guilty, and they ain't got the case. I see what Thug doing. Plus, Thug ain't pleading guilty to none of that shit and let that shit accuse him, man. I see what Thug doing. Thug gonna ride it out. Southwest, okay. He said, I played basketball for the one on Benning Road. Not going to lie, saved my life, bro. It would have saved my life, but I caught a gun charge in 7th grade. It got me kicked out of sports. But nah, the old boys and girl club that we used to know don't exist no more. They got different type of little sports jumps out here, but it's not like that. Shorty can't stop smiling. Enhanced incentives. Yeah. Yeah, they gotta let them know that these convictions will get them enhancements in other court proceedings. That's routine. And your right to bear arms. You understand about pleading guilty to a felony if you use, receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or use a firearm in a crime, you will be guilty of a felony, which may carry a sentence of 1 to 15 years. Do you understand that you waive any and all offenses, including any mental health offenses, by entering a plea of guilty? Understand you went to trial, you have the right to trial by jury, the right to see, hear, and confront witnesses called to testify against you,
and the right to testify to remain silent and not hurt yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you are giving up the following rights? And after I say each right, I'll ask you to respond. The right to trial by jury.
Yes.
The right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself.
Yes.
And to confirm witnesses against you.
Yes.
The right to assist of counsel.
You got to give a whole lot of rights with these cops. But that ain't nothing new.
Yes.
The right to presumption of innocence.
Yes.
The right to testify on your own behalf and to present other evidence.
Yes, ma'am.
The right to subpoena witnesses in the public production of evidence.
Yes, ma'am.
The right to have the charge against you proved beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes.
And the right to appeal if convicted of these charges at the trial.
Yes.
Has anyone forced or ever promised you anything to get you to enter a guilty plea?
No, ma'am.
Shorty won't stop smiling. He glad this shit over with. Be more careful in the building. What's up? Here ain't Saratoga, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand you may have only a limited right to appeal this guilty plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you have 4 years from today's date to file a habeas corpus petition challenging the voluntariness and constitutionality of this bill?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh yeah, I never heard that right. They said you got 4 years to file a habeas corpus. That's in that state though.
Yes, ma'am.
Catch y'all in a minute. I gotta go do a video on El Chapo. I'm gonna watch the rest of this. I ain't gonna sit here and just hold y'all up here and just look at my face. Appreciate the information y'all gave me. Thank you for accepting the information I have for you. I'm gonna go live a couple more times before the day is over because I ain't got time to edit. So I'm gonna just come in and chop it up with y'all. So, I don't like that part of the plea though. And murder and this. His lawyer, hold on. His lawyer gonna object to all this shit at the end. Murder, young slime life, gang activity. Nah, bro. You can't accept that part.
The evidence came out that during the course of that incident that Mr. Ryan or Mr. Blaylock emerged from the apartment complex shooting at the vehicle which Mr. Holmes, Mr. Hoopen, and Mr. Mitchell were in, shooting Mr. Holmes in the head.
No.
After this incident, a few hours later, Mr. Ryan is seen posting on social media, public social media.
See, this what I be talking about when I be talking about them cops, y'all. I ain't signing nothing to say all that right there. Shooting someone in the head. On this date, we shot him this way. We shot him over here. I ain't signing no shit like that, bro. His lawyer gonna object.
Specifically, when Watson, co-conspirator and co-defendant Christian Evinger was given a bond for shooting at another police officer, Mr. Ryan, while on a contraband phone in prison, posted on his social media accounts. He flashed the YSL sign and stated, "We're coming to get you. YSL, shit, free my inward breath, FDDA, the gangway, catch a bond." Your Honor, this is the evidence that the state led.
I ain't signing nothing to say all that, y'all. So your Cody's take a deal. They proving they guilt. I'm explaining. Hold on, I don't want to talk over her. But I ain't signing nothing like that because I ain't admitting to shoot nobody in the head. The only reason some people say the negative things about DC is because all their cases is federal. So when you get everyone from
and I wanted to just add one thing to the information about the different methods you have to file things after.
Oh, I
this
think
plea.
they took a
And that
comment.
is that Misty Williams and Ms. Abbasi will represent you until either the end of this term of court or 30 days,
Everyone
whichever
from
is
Boston
later. And
Chips.
so they would be the ones to talk to you about filing.
Who
this
cares?
case
That's right. Who
unless the
cares?
government is permitted
That's
to
the
withdraw,
past.
before
None
they
of
have
this
to
is
stay
hurting
here
him in
until
any
that
way.
is for you, okay?
Yeah, at this point, that's true.
Ms. Abbasi, is there anything that the defense wants to add to the record?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, I have had the honor really of representing Mr. Ryan along with Misty Williams.
Here come the
Quite
defense.
disappointed she could not be here today for an important day. This trial has been exhausting for everybody, and that certainly includes Mr. Ryan, who has been going through the court system since he was 15 years old. We categorically and adamantly deny that YSL is the criminal, dangerous street gang, which it's been made out to be through this
They
trial.
deny that YSL is a
We're
dangerous
quite
criminal
happy
street
with the
gang.
record, which was established during the presentation at the
She gonna do at least.
evidence of the alleged murder of Mr. Jamari.
You can't agree to no murder.
This plea today, Mr. Ryan is making a decision which is going to
Those
be
the only
best
three. Those the
for
only things I
his
said.
for
His lawyer
future
did it.
He has.
We ain't got
Because
shit to do with no
already
YSL or no criminal violent street
were
gang.
he to be convicted of sentenced to additional time, he would remain in custody. As I stated, we think the
We ain't
record
got shit to do
establishes
with no
strongly
murders.
support his appeal, and hopefully, when conviction is overturned, we don't want him sitting in prison for something else. Certainly not for actions he took when he was younger, and actions
Oh, and he
took,
got an appeal coming.
which are largely a product of how he grew up. As I stated, Your Honor, Mr. Ryan was 15 years old at the time of the Jamari Holmes murder.
He was 15 years old.
Text messages. He was out at all different hours, doing all different things, which I don't think anyone would want their 15-year-old to be out doing. And so that is.
He said they don't know that Miami is in Dade County, not Broward County. I do. My man live in Dade County. 305, the real Miami. Not Miami Beach, not Palm Beach, Miami, Dade County.
At no point was trying to advance a criminal street gang and their interests. He was trying to protect himself.
No criminal gang, no
being
street
a young
interest.
person, largely on his own, and this is where he's ended up. I would like to say that there's been some sort of rehabilitative function here since he was sentenced to prison. It doesn't appear that that has happened. As you've heard, some of his additional cases.
Somebody said everybody I know from Mississippi got family in Chicago
system.
and vice versa.
It would be wonderful if some of the money spent on a case like
They ain't in the
this
Fed.
could possibly be invested in the future of people like Mr. Ryan, who go into custody at such a young age, and who really then are not given the resources to make the changes that they really would like to make to have a productive future. With all of that said, I think Mr. Ryan has grown up a lot during this trial.
Man, you gotta go visit Mississippi just to see it for yourself, bruh.
He
That's
doesn't
your
want to
right.
ever be back in a courtroom ever again, Your Honor. He's heard about all sorts of incidents, which the 2015 crimes, he was 11 years old. Mr. Ryan's most sincere wish is to move on.
He only 20 years
to put this
old.
behind him. And we thank the court for the opportunity.
He was only 11 years old when the other murder occurred, bruh. Come on, man. They playing with these people's lives, bruh.
I just would like to thank the court, Judge.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Ryan, I just want to make sure that you understand that this is ultimately
Your
the
choice.
decision is yours to make, not your attorneys. And I appreciate that Ms. Abbasi and Misty Williams.
I'll be back in a minute, y'all. Appreciate the content. Appreciate the company.
legal advice and guidance, but it's ultimately your decision. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And do you, in fact, want to plead guilty?